Welcome back students in this video series of full stack web development technology. So in our previous video we have discussed about some HTML elements. In this particular video we'll discuss about HTML attributes. So an HTML attribute provides the additional information about an HTML element. So let's suppose we have a h1 tag and we have a opening tag and we have a closing tag, and in between that opening and closing tag we have some data. But what if we want to provide some additional attribute or additional information about the data? What if we want to set some size of that particular data? What if we want to set color of that particular data? For that we use HTML attributes. So attributes are always specified in the start tag. We cannot specify any attribute in the closing tag. So we have to specify attributes in between the start tag, and the attributes usually come in the name value pair. So for example, if you want to design a heading tag and if you want to set some size, then you have to mention the name of the attribute, which is size, and then value of the attribute. For example, the size you want is 10 pixels or 20 pixel or 30 pixel, then you have to particularly mention that along with the name of that attribute. So this is how HTML attributes works. Now let us take an example of how to use some attributes in the HTML. For that, let's take an HTML file and name it as HTML attributes.html. In this particular file, we will practice all the attributes we have. So for example, let us start our HTML. So in this body tag, let me add a tag name as img tag. So as clear from the name, this img tag basically used for, let me write a comment. And we have discussed the comment in the previous video. So this img tag is used to add images to your web page. But this img tag is basically an empty tag. So we have this img tag and I have to pass a source attribute to this img tag. For this we have to pass an image. So I have just added this sample.jpg image and I have to link this. So I'll write sample.jpg. If I save this and execute this file, open with the live server, we'll see output of this particular image over here. Now as I just added this particular picture in my folder, you can also add the URL links of some random images. So let's say if I want to add this particular image, so I'll copy this link, I'll open my VS Code and just in another img tag, I'll pass the source attribute and the path of that image. I save this. Let's open this, refresh this, and you'll get the output of it. If you want to print this in new line, you just have to add a BR tag for the break line. You save this and you can see the image in the next line you have. You can also add as many as you want images you want just by copying the text, just by copying the URL of that particular image. And again src, and let me paste this particular link of a dog's image and let's execute this one and see the output. Here you can see the output. So this particular img is the tag and this src is the attribute for that particular tag. We'll discuss about this img tag completely in the next video. Now let's discuss about the style attribute. We have an attribute. Now let's discuss about the style attribute. So HTML style attribute is used to add styles to an element such as color, font, size and more. So setting the style of an HTML element can be done with the style attributes. Let's suppose our tag name is img tag. Next we have the style, which is the attribute equals to the property value. So if you want to change the color, the property value will be color. If you want to change the font size or any other designing property, we can add it over here. So let's say our elements are this img tag. So let me copy this, and if I want to add some styling into this particular image, so we'll add the style attribute over here. So I'll add a style attribute, style equals to, now these are the options we have using a style. There are a lot of options in the style attribute. So let's use the most often, let's use the height attribute. So let's say the height we want is 500 pixels. Next, let's say we want a width, so we'll write width same as 500 pixels. Let's save this and open this image. So you can see a 500 by 500 image over. If I want to increase the height of this particular image, we can easily do using this height attribute, and if I mention this height as, let's say, 1000, so the change will reflect onto the code. So this is how the height of this particular image will become 1000 pixels. Let's change the height attribute, height and width of this particular image. Let's see. So this will be the image. Now let's change that. So I'll add a style attribute. Then we have width. So let's add width of 500 pixels again. Then we have height. So we write height of let's say 600 pixels. Refresh this, and this is the output. This is how we can add the style attribute and use the style attribute to change the dimensions, the size, the style, basically the design of the element over the document. Now let's discuss some more examples of these attributes. So I have written a h1 tag over here, which I have added a text, simple text, hello world, and let's add a style attribute, style. Now I want to add the background color of this particular image, so I'll write background color equals to, there are a lot of colors, let's add brown. Save this and let's see the output. Look over here. So this is the heading we have, and the background color of this particular heading tag will be brown. We can also add some HTML colors or hexa color codes to add the styling of that particular color. So this is the table for the hexa color. So let's pick a color from here. So let's suppose we want to add this color to the font. So I'll just copy this color, copy this color code, open your and just paste this over here. But don't forget to add a hashtag. Let's save this and see the output. You can see output over here. So let's also choose another color. Let me choose this color. Let me add color to add color of the font. Save this and let's see the output. You can see the hello world. So this is how you can use the style tag. So in the next video we'll discuss this img tag, this style tag, and some more tags in brief. That's all for this video. Thank you.